Alrighty, everyone. So today's video is going to be a very different topic. It's actually not going to be quite on a specific topic. In general, it's that I'm going to stop posting YouTube videos because trading has been busting my balls, and I quite literally feel that social media and being an influencer, quite literally isn't beneficial to me at this moment. And I mean, I'm not even like just stopping YouTube. It's just kind of, I feel like my knowledge or what I know, people won't really use it or take it seriously because, you know, I'm 17 or I'm turning 18 in a couple of weeks. People will be like, oh, this guy's still a kid. I mean, most of my viewers are like in their 20s, 30s, so they'll be like, oh, this guy's a kid. What does he know? And, I don't blame them. Um, I'm only making a few extra $100, $100 per trade, like, 100, 200. Most I've made was like 400, right around there. And, that's a decent amount, but it's not a lot to actually be like, all these other top influencers that actually, can give out advice. Or, anyone can give out advice, but it's like a lot of people would listen more to someone, who makes hundreds and hundreds of thousands than, me making a few $100. It's like that's the thing on social media. How people say, oh yeah, new school was fake when my business teacher never owned a business. And that kind of also brings me on the social media topic, right? This That's my. All I wanted to say. Quite literally is day in and day out, right? I get up, I go to work, right? Or I trade. I wake up at 2:30, 3:30, depending on like daylight saving times. Sometimes it's actually 1:30 in the morning I gotta get up to trade, right? AM, because of where I'm at. Then I go to bed for a little bit extra if I can. Then I get up at 6 to go to work. And I go to work, start around 7, 7:30 most days. And then I get home at 5. Average, right? Most probably like 2, 3 days out of the week I get home at like 6, pushing 7. Then I gotta work out, right? And then I gotta be in bed at 8. And then I gotta try sleep, right? To be back up at 1:30 in the morning to trade. And so making YouTube videos is quite kind of hard, to fit into stuff because I'm quite literally running out of time because everything's literally busting my balls, right? I'm like, some nights can barely keep my eyes open, in the mornings when I gotta trade. And then, the free time I use, it's literally just to scroll. This is basically ruining any other time of, actually needing to do the stuff. And you can comment on this, being like, oh, you just self will, self. You gotta just be strong and not do. No, right? A lot of people can't do that. So instead of being like, oh yeah, I quit, I'm just gonna get rid of the less important things, at this moment, which is my social media to free up more time. And YouTube falls into that. And I've like quite recently, for like the past month, I've had this urge, this feeling to just, full on go into trading and just, boom, blur out the rest and just heading into the wall, just, back against the wall, doing whatever it takes to make trading work because quite literally in the position I am, it's trading or trading. I didn't finish school, right? I don't have a degree. I'm not gonna get a degree. I hate working my job, right? I don't make enough money with trading to actually quit my job. Next year, for the people that are into crypto, we're not going to get any money from crypto next year. It's literally dropping, right? And trading this year, last year's from trading for me, like I think for like 8 months, last year was the best trading months of my life. And then I came into 2025 with this, big idea of this is going to be my year, this is going to be the year I make, 4, 5, 6 grand just from trading alone. And that was from New Year's up until now, which is currently 29 November. In around 15 minutes for me, it will be the 30th, so 29th for the people in the US. So it's been basically a year, and my trading has not improved financially at all. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, don't get me wrong. I've learned how to trade, how to better strategize, but the idea that I had of seeing me from January 1st, 2025 to now was not what I imagined, right? And so, man, bro, this year has been busting my balls, and 85% is coming from trading, right? But I'm not quite literally in the opportunity to quit trading, like I said, right? So I'm just gonna stop posting pretty much until I make it in trading, right? And I can start actually giving financial advice. And at that time, or that benchmark for me would probably be around 7 to 8 grand, maybe even 10 figures. I feel like, if you make 6 to 10 grand from trading a month, you can actually start chiming in your opinion, right? I feel like with my knowledge, anybody should be allowed to chime in with trading. And I can, post videos. I'm not getting a lot of views, because, like I said, why listen to someone who's making hundreds when you can go and watch someone with way more experience making hundreds of thousands, right? You can take the best trader who's only making hundreds and the worst or like mediocre trader who makes tens of thousands a month, and he's gonna get a little more views, right? And I mean, like that's just kind of how it is, bro. Like I told you with that videos people post like, oh, you knew my PE teacher didn't know much about PE when he was fat, and that's fair enough, right? Why trust someone who hasn't even done it like the rest? So that's why I kind of feel also like I'm wasting my time with YouTube at this moment, and I did start quite early. And I kind of just want to first of all say thank you to the 30 people that actually subscribed. That was amazing. I was so excited when I saw that. I think 5 of those are family members, so the other 25 people I don't even know, right? Which feels great. Um, I like posting content, and I definitely will come back to this channel, right, and actually post. But for now, I'm putting it on hold. I'm not quitting. I'm not a quitter, right? I'm definitely not quitting trading. So this isn't like, oh, I quit trading video. This is a no. I'm putting the YouTube channel on hold, and I'm just going full steam with my trading, right? With my other businesses, with work, with getting money, with whatever, right? With actually try to get into reading. I've been saying this whole year, oh, I want to start reading financial books, right? It's been the whole year I've read 80 pages, right? I had this goal that I made since July, right? So it's been like what, 5-ish months probably since July. Um, Saying, oh, I'm gonna read 20 pages of this financial book a day. I've read 80 pages that whole time, right? I haven't touched that book for more than 4 months probably, right? And I don't quite literally believe in if you don't read books, you're not gonna be successful. right? But I do think is some knowledge generating books. So I'm going to take this time and put this on hold, the YouTube, the posting, the videos, you know, basically going ghost at this point, right? Um, I don't quite really have friends, so it's like kind of like not a. I can delete my socials, right? And that's what I'm gonna do. I don't have TikTok. I'm deleting Instagram after this. After this video was quite literally just to show that doom scrolling thing. I'm also deleting YouTube. I'm only keeping one social media platform, and that is to literally just communicate with family members, mom, dad, brother, so on, grandparents, whatever, right? So literally quite the only social media I'm keeping is to talk to family, to text, to say yes I made it to this place safe or whatever, right? Because quite literally social media has been making me quite negative in a way. You'd scroll and you see like, oh yeah, this guy's 24, he's making so much money. I wish, I can make so much money. And I probably, honestly, I truly believe in myself that I will make that much money at that age. Like I said, I'm turning 18 in 2 weeks. I have 6 years to reach that, right? I improved massively over the year with other investments, other businesses, right? Trading wasn't that great of a financial win for me, but knowledge wise, it was great. I learned new stuff. I switched from London to New York. I learned that London is complete ass and New York's goated, right? I've learned that a lot of stuff, right? I can't really pinpoint exactly what I've learned, but I've also learned that, trading is going to take time. And to rush things, to rush the YouTube, right? It's just not going to work out. So this is going to be um, my last video. I'm going to keep that crypto video up. I did say I was going to delete it, but I really do want to share my knowledge, so I'll keep it up there. And if it does somehow people get into it, um, that's all good. There is some great knowledge there. There's some great knowledge in my backtesting videos, in the couple of videos I've made. I really do believe people should watch them, and a lot of people have, which I'm grateful for and thankful. And like I said, to the people that actually subscribed, really made my day. Um, coming from work to home and saying, "Oh yeah, I got 2 new subscribers, right? That felt great." But I'm putting on hold. This is gonna be the last video, like I said, until trading becomes my main income, right? Until I make 6 to 8K, not even like, let's just say 6K, right? As soon as I hit 6K a month, 2 to 3 months in a row, and that's like my average benchmark of making it, I'll start posting again. I'll come back and say I did it, right? I made that much money. But for now, I'm not I'm literally scraping pennies off the floor with trading compared to these other guys, right? And so this will be the last video on this channel, and there's not quite literally not much else to say rather than I'm stopping YouTube and I'm quitting social media to go full steam with trading, right? I just getting to my books that I want to read, because I mean, if I stop the YouTube, I do get free up time, and the YouTube videos, when you trade, and you want to post content, you always feel like you gotta hit, super high R's, or you gotta like do good, you gotta make a lot of stuff to impress the people actually watching. And at the time, I can't handle that pressure of needing to impress people with high risk rewards, or 20 win streak on YouTube right now. It's not really kind of my My goal is to make 6 to 8 grand with trading a month consistently to replace my main income. So that becomes my main income, right? And when I do that, I'll get back on this channel and I'll start posting consistently, because I do want to share my knowledge, and I really do feel like people can benefit out of it. I feel like a lot of people can benefit out of my knowledge now, but a lot of people won't listen for 2 reasons, right? I'm young and I don't got enough bread, right? I'm not making enough bread with trading so people can actually be like, yeah, this guy, knows what he's talking about, and I can see it. Now he's just, oh yeah, I think he knows what he's talking about, but I can't really see it, right? It's kind of that thing that's saying with like action speed louder than words. Like I can say I know it, but if my actions are showing like my trades are bad, which they're not, but if I'm saying I'm making bread, or I'm not really saying that, but like if I'm saying I'm a good trader, but I'm making a few extra $100 a week, bro, that's mediocre, right? I wouldn't even watch someone making $100 extra a week, or a couple $100 extra a week, right? Much rather watch someone making a couple grand a trade, because that's impressive, right? And so that's quite also one of the, I would say that's one of the main reasons why I'm stopping as well. But not the main. The main is quite literally, I feel like I'm running out of time, right? Trading is, or YouTube is holding me back in a way. The pressure of, needing to post, needing to have good content, but also knowing that I can't teach everything because not a lot of people are going to listen. So it's quite literally a waste of my time. And the pressure of needing to make it in trading is a lot bigger than my pressure to post videos right now. The goal wasn't to become an influencer, right? The goal was to become a trader. And to become a better trader, I feel as if I gotta stop this, I gotta stop my social media. I quite literally have to eat, sleep, and breathe trading, right? No social media, just work, come home, gym, get up for trading, go to bed, get up for gym, trade, repeat, right? Think, eat, and breathe trading until I make 6, 8 grand a month, that I can actually start sharing my knowledge and people will listen, because that is above the minimum income. I think the minimum is around 3 to 4K a month. So making 6 to 8 is quite a big jump. It's basically double the minimum wage. And then I probably would think people would start being like, oh yeah, he knows what he's doing. But as for now, I'm just gonna stop YouTube, and this, like I said before, is gonna be the last video for, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years, it could be 5 years, right? But I'm gonna achieve it. I'm gonna achieve financial freedom with trading, and I'm gonna keep this video on here. I'm gonna keep all the other videos on to prove to my future self that younger me, past him, did make it, right? And basically with that, from then on, I'll start posting again. I might do updates, probably won't, of how it's going. But that's quite literally not the point then of this video, right? But I'm stopping it until I make 6 to 8 grand. Like I said, it could take 5 years, it could take 10 years. I'm doing it, and then I'll post a video saying, I did it, I am back. But for now, I'm going. So thank you to everybody who subscribed and did watch my videos, even if you just watched one video. I'm very grateful, and thank you, and I hope everybody else that might be in the same situation as me, or feels the same about trading, we're gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. You're gonna make it, right? And that's basically it. Later.